Oh! I did not see you there. Jesus Christ, that really caught me right off guard. What's going on, guys? It's there. Oh, wow. 78th edition, Jamie. 78th edition of Chronicles of Podcast?
78.
We love it. We keep delivering. We just keep delivering, all right? So, but can you do me one favour, right, guys? All of you lot, right? Stop sneaking up on us like that. We don't need it. But Jamie, I believe right about here are the Chronicles of Joe Rooney.
They are. They're right. I can see them.
Yeah, we're buzzing for this one, boys.
Hey, honey bunny, it's Rivka Reyes.
This is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
It's Boba Fett here.
This is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
It's WWE superstar, legend, Davey Boy Smith's daughter, Georgia Smith.
Hi, my name's Joe Rooney. I'm an actor, comedian, and you're listening to the Chronicles of Podcast.
Your facial expressions in Dublin plus playing the bass are absolutely superb. You look like you're having the greatest time of your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to ask yourself the question, Oasis or Blur? Because these are the Chronicles of Joe Rooney.
But shall we introduce the piece of resistance for this week?
Definitely should.
Welcome to the Chronicles of Joe Rooney.
Yeah, tell him that's fine. I don't care what he does. He's not the boss of me.
Right.
All right. I'm going. Tell him I'm going. I'll see you, Dougal.
Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Joe Rooney is an actor and comedian all the way from Ireland. You will most notably know him as Father Damo in hit Channel 4 comedy series Fathed. But this man does it all. He's got an incredible stand-up career. He's an incredible actor. He's going to be in the upcoming movie Dublin Crust, which Tom was very fortunate to see. You'll probably recognise Joe's face as well from our Dublin Crust vlog because Tom got to speak to him there as well. This conversation's hilarious. Like, Joe is so much fun. And he doesn't do these very often by all accounts, so it means the absolute world to us that he actually sat down and spoke to us. Yes, this is so funny. So much fun.
I can't stress it enough, Jamie is spot on. Joe, we're really sorry that we interrupted your soup, so do massively apologise for that. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Any more words before we crack on?
Just a massive thank you to Joe. As I said, I really appreciate you taking time out and doing this, for putting your soup on hold for us. It means the world.
Absolutely. Everybody go check out Joe's son's band Modern Love as well. Ruin Your Night is an absolute tune. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Joe Rooney. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you another wonderful and hilarious guest. Today's guest is a musician, stand-up comic, and actor who has hosted kids' television, brought to life one of the most iconic characters in Ireland's most iconic shows, and that's from starring in one episode. That's how you make an impression. He's a man who once said in an interview, if he won the lottery, he'd buy a castle and paint it pink. Today's guest can be seen on tour with his show, A Celebration of Father Ted, and portraying the role of Terence in the upcoming movie Dublin Crust. Ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to ask yourself the question, Oasis or Blur? Because these are the Chronicles of Joe Rooney.
Nice one. All right.
Thank you.
Why would you want to paint a castle pink? Like, why?
Well, I think most castles you would imagine would be pink if they were properly painted. I don't know, but it's a big job. I understand.
Thought into it.
Sorry, what?
If people actually put some thought into it, start getting the Dulux chart out, and be like, I want my castle to be green. I'm going for green on the outside. I want orange walls. Fuck it.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, obviously a big job. It's a lot of paint, and I understand why people who have castles don't put that effort in. But if I definitely would, yeah, I'd go for it. Yeah, and then you say, where give people directions. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
As long as it's in the vicinity, yeah? As long as it's around the castle.
Yeah. When you're about a mile away, you'll see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love that if you just tried to incorporate it somehow regardless. You'd be like, so you want to go left down there, go all the way down the motorway, so you should see a pink castle, come back on yourself, it's just around the corner over there.
Yeah. If you see the pink castle, you're going the wrong direction. Yeah. So yeah. You've gone too far. Yeah.
Joe, how was your pandemic season? How was the last couple of years been for you?
Oh, brilliant. I really liked the pandemic. I was happy enough to be at home and getting the payment, and I was reading books and hanging out, sharing a place here with my son at the time. Don't think he was too happy with that, but I commandeered the living room apparently. But it probably was. I mean, I didn't miss doing live gigs, but at the same time, when I went back to doing live gigs, I realized I loved doing live gigs. But I did like having a break was fine. It was fine with me. I didn't like doing online gigs, to be honest. I thought they were awful. So I guess I realized that, it's not really about, when you're doing stand-up, it's not just about your material or it's not just about you. 50% of it is the audience as well. So it's kind of it's a, don't know what you call it. But it's part, the audience make a show, So
yeah, I can imagine trying to do an online show on Zoom and you deliver something absolutely spectacular, but if there's like delay or whatever, so people just sat there staring for a while, and you're like, was that great? And everyone just goes, and then starts like laughing, but it's like delayed by like 10 seconds.
Yes, delayed by 10 seconds, or you just hear somebody dropped a saucepan and their photo comes up. Their feed comes up on your, it was really odd. I remember at one point I was doing a show. It was like a corporate gig, but at one point the screen came up. It was just a lady feeding her baby at a kitchen table, and that kind of puts you off. Yeah. Sorry, it's nothing to do with the fact that there's a lady kid feeding her baby, but she was obviously told to log on, and this is an event for the company. You should really be there, but she was far more interested in her own child than what I was doing. But so that was entertainment in lockdown for you. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad it's over.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So, Joe, take us back to the days of young Master Rooney. What did young Joe want to be when he was growing up? Was it always the world of entertainment for you, or was it something completely different?
I was into music, and this is the 70s. I'm talking about maybe the end of the glam for when I was really, really, really young. It was the glam. But I didn't think I couldn't imagine myself being in the same kind of entertainment world as T-Rex or whoever I was looking at the time. But I guess when the punk thing happened, there was an idea that anybody could get into show business. Like you could, and it did start. I was in a band in school, and then I was in another band later. So that was a gradual kind of realization that, I can be on stage. And then when the band broke up, I was 25, and it was a friend of mine, Paul Tyler, who was really into comedy, and we decided to do a double act. So it was a very gradual. So I'd say when I was young, I hadn't that idea that I'd be like in what they call show business. But gradually, I accepted that was a possibility more than anything. Yeah.
Because in the 80s, you were in a band called Guernica, was it? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, Guernica, named after a Picasso painting. I didn't come up with that name, but it was quite serious. Like, kind of started off kind of a very Joy Division-y, New Order sound, then moved into rockabilly. So I think we had actually invented our own genre, which was like shoegazing rockabilly. So.
I found a couple of songs on YouTube, and I was going to say, like, how would you describe that music? Because I could not think of a way to describe it.
Oh, really? Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, because there's a mixture of kind
Yeah.
of synth at times synthy, and then at times guitar, kind of rockabilly-ish. Not rockabilly, no, I don't know, whatever. Country rock, rockabilly, whatever. But anyway, it eventually found out that after recording an album, the guitarist was two-timing us with another band, and it broke up. And at the age of 25, I thought, I'm too old to start another band.
I love that even you realise that the look on your face on, I was only 25. I think easily could have started another band.
Yeah, I know, but I felt really old at 25 for some reason. Yeah. Much older than I do now, I think. Yeah. So then, yeah, the comedy thing started, but it wasn't like stand-up. I was just doing a double act, a kind of very physical. There was two of us. We were wearing wigs. We did stupid songs, and we didn't really know where you should perform comedy. So we were asking bands if we could open for them and things like that. And that's our first gig, or going to the art college in Dublin, asking if we could perform there. And that's what we did, our private parties even. And eventually we found out there was a comedy club in Dublin, and it's called The Cellar, and that's where everybody from Ardla Hanlon to Dylan Moran started. Yeah.
I was going to say, because obviously, you've got this well-known career in comedy. Were you a big comedy fan growing up, or was it something you just sort of fell into?
I was into film comedy, yeah, not so much stand-up, actually. Was there any good stand-up? I don't know, but I was really into Steve Martin and the early Steve Martin albums. Yeah, the live album that he did, and his films as well. But it was all sketch stuff, not so much. I don't know when stand-ups became cool, because to me, when I was growing up, stand-up was very cabaret, and then I guess it was kind of when the young ones started and stuff like that. I would have seen that there was a different side to stand-up. But when I started doing stand-up, I didn't even know how to do it. None of us knew how to do it. We're all kind of going, what do you do? Do you talk about yourself? I mean, do you talk about your real life? It wasn't like we knew how to do it. And I'm talking about people like Ardla Hanlon as well, because we all started off the same time. There was kind of just finding out how to do it. Because we didn't have that culture here in Ireland of stand-up, I don't think. Yeah, it's interesting though, but it wasn't the stand-up that I was looking at when I started watching comedy. Yeah.
I've always admired people who do stand-up, even sketch stand-up, stuff like, you've got to have a big old pair of balls to get up on stage in front of a crowd full of people and try and make them laugh. But were you always like an outgoing person, like, here I am, look at me, or was it like something that sort of come out your shell?
No, I was really shy, really quiet. It was a very gradual thing. I'm glad I was in the band first, because the band you were there with 4 people with loud instruments. So if people weren't listening, didn't matter, and then doing the double act, and being characters was another kind of barrier between you and the audience. And eventually I did stand-up. But stand-up is the most naked you can be on stage. Like if people don't laugh, it's horrible. And when you start off, 1 in 5 maybe gigs are deaths, unbelievable deaths. And when you're starting out, so I didn't have I was actually, for the first 5 years of doing stand-up, really nervous before I went on. Every single night I would be like, I don't have to do this. I could just go home. And then, but I never didn't go on. I never didn't go on. I just kept forcing myself to do it. And eventually all that nerves kind of is gone, and you feel it, and you look like the most confident and relaxed person on stage. But that took me a long time. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody, because I know guys, comedians, I should say, that just seem to have that confidence straight up. But that wasn't me. That wasn't me for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. So imagine having shows where obviously it's bombed for whatever reason, didn't put you off, because obviously that would, I mean, for me personally, if I went there, I was like, oh yeah, and like did whatever, but and everyone just went, like, just didn't say anything, whatever, that'd be like, no, that's it. Do you know what? I'm not going to do that ever again. I think I'll just go and work from home, never actually reach the sunshine, never smell the air ever again.
You just have one, but you have one really amazing gig that keeps you going for a few months even. You go, well, if it can happen again, surely that can happen again. And yeah, it does, I suppose. But I'm amazed that I did keep going. So sometimes, because you travel the length and breadth of the country to do 7 minutes, and if that 7 minutes doesn't go well, you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like,
it's a good point. I never really thought about that. You're traveling all this time, a lot longer than 7 minutes to perform for, like you say, 7 minutes. It shows dedication to it. Really does.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's really hard. Starting off on comedy is the worst, because you get the worst gigs. You're doing the worst gigs in the worst venues, and you're just starting out. Because as you get, more renowned, you're getting nicer venues and an audience who are there to see you, and so it's a hell of a lot easier. So it's just the first year or two is the worry. If you can get through that, you're probably okay. You're probably okay. But same time, what made me nervous again was doing larger audiences. So you start off doing little bars and everything, and you can see everybody in the audience. Then you go into a theater where they're all sitting in lines, and I always felt, in a pub you can laugh with your mates. You can look at them and go, ha, la la la. And it's not like that in the theater. They've got to laugh out at you. And I always find it takes longer to warm up an audience when you're in a theater. And also, you might not be able to see I remember the first time I went on stage and I went, oh my God, all I'm seeing is lights and a darkness out there. I can hear laughter, but you can't see anybody. It's really disconcerting. I'm used to it now. You just kind of pretend you're looking at someone in their eyes. But so all those kind of things make you a bit nervous. As you go up as well, you go to another level, you go, oh, this is tough. But yeah, well, that's life,
That's why comedians always pick on people in the front row, because they can't see anyone past the front row.
They can't. Yeah. So it's really odd actually going back and forth between. I remember doing like a tour with this guy who's really big in Ireland. I was opening for him, and I was doing it for about a year or two, and big venues, and then going back to a club. Now the thing about a big venue is the laughter lasts longer, so you've got an extra 30 seconds to even think of the next thing you're going to say. So you look like a genius, like you're really thinking on the spot. But you've actually got a lot of time, and then you go back to a club, and you have that kind of timing where you hit a punchline and you think you've got loads of time till you start speaking again, and you go, oh no, shit, there's only 30 people here. They're not going to laugh for a minute, So yeah, it's really odd going back and forth between big venues and small venues. Yeah.
I was watching a few clips of your stand-up online, and one thing that stood out to me is the fact that Ireland is brought up a hell of a lot. Like, what is it about Ireland that just lends itself so well to comedy? It's sort of like its own charm and got its own character.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess it's for me, it's kind of this bizarre upbringing in a very strict Catholic Ireland, which doesn't really exist now. But I mean, that kind of life. I mean, that Fathed is not. It isn't insane and it's mad and it's crazy, but a lot of it is true as well. I mean, so I guess that's, go on. That happened. That used to happen. Like if you went to someone's house and they go, do you want a cup of tea? And you go, no, I'm grand. Go on, you'll have a cup of tea. No, I'm fine. Go on, come on. And that happens. That happens. And a lot of that stuff, and these weird priests that were like I don't know, like every family, your mother would be really proud if you became a priest. So kind of maybe it was an honorable thing for the family to have a priest. But there were these people who were just should not have been priests, and they're a little bit insane, you know, and they're so. I mean, you just know that life did happen, and it lends itself to comedy, I guess. I mean, some kind of psychotic. The whole country was psychotic, I think. For a while.
What you're saying is, Joe, Father Ted is real life. That's not a sitcom. That's a real thing.
It is there's something real about it. Like we had, like you got Father Stone, the fella who visits and sits there and says nothing. There was a neighbor. We had a neighbor who did that. He called around. He goes, "Your father in." You go, "Yeah, come on in," and then he just sit there and say nothing. And you don't know why. Why did he call around? I guess he was just lonely, and he just wanted to watch our television instead of his own. But yeah, it is weird. I think that Ireland was a bit screwed up though, but post-colonial and then being under the thumb of the Catholic Church, there was a certain the whole country was like a mental institution. Yeah.
Just going back to your stand-up really quickly, I did really enjoy the Rockstar nursery rhymes. I'm gonna have to say,
all right.
Morrissey and Johnny Cash. Just, I had to watch it a few times because I enjoyed it so much.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that really goes down well. I mean, I like doing those. I'm adding a few more now as well, like Elvis and maybe Talking Heads. I'm thinking doing and Bob Dylan. I mean, everyone does Bob Dylan, but shit, you know, I'll do Bob Dylan. Most of the people I impersonate are dead though, so I have to just to a younger audience. I have to explain who they are.
Oddly enough, I was just going to mention that. I was going to say, like, people listening to this need to go find that Rockstar Nursery Rhymes music video on your YouTube channel because it's fantastic. It's so good. But where do you get the inspiration for your jokes and your stand-up?
Well, kind of like from it is a bit of real life, but exaggeration and stuff, and then whatever is coming up in just generally and culturally, what's coming up, I guess, gender issue or whatever, it's in your head, and you just start writing down. I mean, recently I started getting up and writing for an hour, and those things are in your head, so you just write. And I mean, like most of it's not going to be that funny, but you'll find a little few nuggets. So it is kind of what is happening at the moment in culture as well, and issues that people get embarrassed about and how people deal with. For example, you know, we don't know how to deal now with pronouns, or you make mistakes and you say the wrong pronoun. You go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like I have a friend who is transitioning, and I'm sure I'm going to say the wrong pronoun, and he's okay with that. He's going, "Look, that's okay because I do the same myself." So these kind of things that are embarrassing moments in life, they're the things that. And when I had kids, that was all about that struggle, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Have you ever had moments of like, I don't know, you're not so much asleep but nodding off, or in the shower, I think you think of something immediately and go, "Shit, I need to write it down. Fuck." And it's like, is there any moments like that? Do you have like you think of really funny things at the most inappropriate times?
I think so. Well, yeah. It's usually now you got a phone and you can record. Usually the musical stuff, because I just sing nonsense as many people might do, in the shower or just around the house. And sometimes I go, "Oh, that's quite funny," and I would have to record. Yeah, sometimes I'm walking down. Yeah, I'd have to pull it in, walking down the street, just pull into a doorway and say something into my phone. Now, it may not be funny, but at that time, I think it's funny. And then I might listen back and go, "What? That's terrible," you know. But yeah, does happen at the most inopportune times. But may not always be funny. You wake up in the middle of the night and with an idea and write write it down, go, that's amazing. Then you go back to sleep, wake up in the morning, and you look at your notebook and it says, I don't know, sledgehammer, elephant or something, and it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it made us laugh. You've performed stand-up like all over the world, and I can only imagine the first time you stood up on a stage for the first time, you couldn't have been expecting to be playing like all these different countries throughout your career.
No, that is pretty cool. I mean, I've got to go to Moscow. I played in Moscow and China and all over America. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's amazing. I mean, mostly it is to. A lot of it is to expats, say China, Hong Kong, Dubai is to expats. Around Europe, then you're playing to Europeans, but they have good English and stuff, and they understand. You know what they don't understand? Like if you're doing gigs in Europe and they don't. You talk about those nursery rhymes, David Bowie and Johnny Cash doing nursery rhymes, but they don't have those nursery rhymes, so they don't. That's completely gone for them. But only place America, people from India know those nursery rhymes, and obviously English and Irish people. But anyway, but in Moscow I played to Muscovites, and they had a translator actually, and some people had headphones on, and they were laughing though. So that translator was either really good or doing his own stuff. So
now's my time to shine. Everyone's going to think it's him.
Yeah. I was surprised. The one thing that didn't work in Moscow, they're very prudish about sexual stuff. They don't like that stuff. They didn't mind me. Actually, I was talking to some people some girls after the show, and there's a guy on before me did some sexual stuff, and it died in his arse. I did a bit, and it went okay. And they were like, it was okay when you did it because you are older, and we don't imagine you doing it. Thanks. Yeah, brilliant. Oh my God.
There's some horrific videos in Russia I've seen of like with gay couples, homosexual couples like holding hands, and these Russians just like smash straight into them, like put them against walls and stuff like that. It's absolutely disgusting. Mental country.
Yeah, it is like I was over there when they invaded Crimea, and I was talking to these younger people, and they were like, I was going, that's pretty bad, isn't it? And they were like, oh no. They were like very dismissive of it, saying, no, it's not a real country, And I started my next gig, and it didn't go well, but I started my next gig. I was saying, yeah, it's right now. You've invaded, you've annexed Crimea. I mean, it's not really a real country, And I hope when I go home, England have taken Ireland back, because we're not a real country, and I just, what are we doing? But it didn't go down very well. It didn't go down.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you were lynched.
Yeah, the rest. Unfortunately, I did it at the top of my set, so the rest of the set as well. Another thing that didn't work actually. I did used to do material. This is where architecture can ruin your act. I did material about how if you have an argument with your wife, like just leave it like, and when she's washing her teeth, don't go for a piss beside her. There was more to it than that. But anyway, it didn't get a laugh, and it was turned out because in Russia the toilet is not in the bathroom. So you couldn't have done that. You couldn't go for a piss beside someone washing their teeth. The actual toilet bowl is in its own room. So you say, you don't realize how architecture can ruin a joke.
I was going to say, like, when you're playing these foreign countries, how does the Irish material go over? Do people get it, or do you just abandon it for foreign shows?
No, I think like a lot of my material it's not. I don't know what the material I'm doing now. Anyway, it could be about my Irish upbringing, but it's still universal in the fact that I will talk about the mother who's very passive aggressive, and she'll go. I used to say, "Can I go to the disco? on Friday, the teenage disco, and she'd be like, should go on out and enjoy yourself. Sure, someone in this house might as well enjoy themselves. It won't be me anyway. And that kind of passive aggressive mother. I think the Jewish mother is like that. I think the Arabic mother is like that. That kind of mother that's just makes you feel guilty, all the time. So certain things are universal, even though they're particular, but they're also universal.
You've incorporated your comedy and your music as one. I thoroughly enjoyed a music video by Meant to Be. Like Be in My Bubble is an absolute smash hit. So when are Meant to Be touring?
I don't know if we can get us all together in the same room, but we've fallen out. But I'd love, that
okay,
song
sorry.
was written, and the way bands are, musical differences and all that. But I wrote that with my son helped me write that. My son is in a band called Modern Love, who sold out their first show in America in New York 2 nights ago. Did a sold out show in New York, and he did the production. I wrote the song on the guitar, like 3-4 chords or whatever. But I like that song, Be in My Bubble. Yeah, it's kind of time. Obviously, nobody's in a bubble anymore, so it doesn't really work.
But it worked at the time. Just in reference to your son's band, Modern Love, the song, because I think you shared Ruin Your Night on your Instagram story, so I checked it out, and it's sensational, and congratulations to him for selling out New York. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, amazing. They're on their way to Chicago now to do another sellout show, so they're doing great. Thanks very much. Yeah.
So we mentioned the YouTube channel, which obviously is at Freezer Joe. And during the lockdown, the workout video was absolutely incredible. So I'll put that into my routine now in the morning. And the Living with Joe episodes were also sensational. What really stood out to me was the cover of Last Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's such a beautiful message. Can I say that last Christmas he gave me what?
Yeah, go for it.
It was last Christmas he gave me the clap, was it?
Yeah, yes.
I gave you the clap. Very next day you gave it to Ray.
Ray,
anyway,
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, There was one actual video I did that was taken down. Can you believe this? I did this kind of Northern English bloke who was talking about bananas it's bananas that are giving us COVID. And it was like bloody bananas. And there was all this big conspiracy how they switched the banana. They changed. There used to be a different banana. And they changed it. That was taken down. YouTube took it down. Unbelievable.
Bastards.
It got the most interaction as well. People thought that was real. People thought I was real.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's amazing.
If they believe 5G is going to fuck, or Bill Gates is going to implant a chip, I'm not surprised they believed you. But
yeah, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene in America said that the California fires were started by lasers that Jewish people were firing at the trees, and she is in Congress in America. She's so it's quite easily the banana thing could have been. It's just as believable as that, So yeah,
it's crazy to think like 3 years ago, people were holding cutlery against their arm, look, it's magnetic. We're fucked.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We live in a world full of fucking idiots.
It's nuts. Yeah, I know what people are believing in. Yeah. So, there you go. Bananas. I might bring that back then. I must bring that back. Yeah.
They can't take it that second time, surely.
What's that again?
Just keep rehashing it. Just keep rehashing it, keep redoing it, and see how many times I'll take it down.
See how many times? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no arguing with it. It's probably a bot anyway, but there's no arguing. There's no one to talk to about my banana thing.
So I suppose we'd better talk about it, otherwise fans are not going to be happy with us. Father Ted, in one episode, you managed to create an iconic character that fans of the show just fucking love to this day. When I told people you were coming on, I had tons of people going, "That's one of my favorite ever episodes." So, but what led to your journey to Craggy Island? How did that start for you?
I did know the writers. Graham and Arthur had a flat in Kilburn in London, and when I was going over to London, like I would fly over to do, as I said, 7 or 8 minute spots, 10-minute spots. They offered to put me up if I was looking for a place to stay, so I stayed there, and I got to know them quite well. That they were obsessed with sitcoms, and they'd written a couple of things. They'd written a thing called Paris for that comedian from Liverpool. Well, I can't remember his name, but they used to sit and watch One Foot in the Grave a lot. They watched that a lot, and Seinfeld. They watched both of them a lot, and they were really obsessed with the idea of how to write a sitcom, and how to write comedy. And then they told me that they'd written something about 3 priests, which I believe that Father Ted started off as a mock documentary, a 1-hour mock documentary about a priest called Father Ted. And it was somebody in Channel 4 said this could be a sitcom. And then they obviously obsessed with the idea of writing a good sitcom, and they watched lots of stuff, and then they wrote this. But I was a fan of it then. I went to see a couple of them I was in the audience for one of them in the first season. I was a fan of it. I did a thing then called the Hairy Bowsies. It was an Irish kind of trad band, parody of a trad band. And I did play a character in that, which maybe was a bit like Father Damo. So I got a call then from from Graham actually and he said, there's a part we want you to audition for, so the casting agent will be in touch. And the casting agent wasn't in touch, and then he called again, and he go, "Are you not going to audition?" I said, "Nobody's called me." And he said, "Okay, sorry, I'll find out what happened." And then eventually I got the audition. But yeah, I get the feeling that maybe they had me in mind for that part, because I know that they really cast to type, and they obviously saw that in me. But I'd say Michael Redmond played Father Stone. He's very like that. Patrick MacDonald played Owen McLove. I think he's perfect for that. He's very like that character. I would have said that Ardla Hanlon's stand-up was similar enough to Dougal. Kind of an innocence about him. And but I did audition for the part, and it's just amazing. I was so happy that I got it, yeah.
It's amazing. But what is it about, do you think, about Father Damo that appealed to so many people? Because like I said, one episode and people love that character.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously I love that character as well. Like, I just love the kind of idiotic rebelliousness that he has. That kind of young fella that I may have been myself. Well, you just think you're so cool. You just think you're so cool. And the way he flicks a cigarette, I think, he is so cool, and he knows that, because he's got his ear pierced and stole a whistle. Like, I just love that idea of just thinking you're so cool, but you're not that cool. But I mean, in his world, he's the coolest thing on earth. And just that, and also that just grumpiness of a teenager. I love that grumpiness. Even my son, I didn't love it when it was my son, but he's still a bit like that. Just that, what are you asking me questions for? You just go, how was your day? Oh my God, that kind of thing. That's what I love about him, yeah. And then it captured the whole moment in time when Oasis and Blur were big rivals, and that was the question of the day, who do you prefer, Oasis or Blur? And of course he'd like Oasis, because he's like a Liam Gallagher type character,
It's the mannerisms that always got me. Like the shoulders, Oasis or Blur. It's like I absolutely loved it. It's so good.
Yeah. Oasis. But what's great about the interaction with Dougal is that Dougal's reaction to everything is amazing. When Father Damo flicks a cigarette, like Dougal's like, "Wow, that's so cool." Oh, when he says, "I don't care, tell him to fuck off." Dougal is so impressed. He's so impressed by everything. It's amazing. And then when he comes back in, trying to walk like him, it's amazing. Amazing, yeah. Ardle is so good. I mean, so good visually. The stuff he does with his face is amazing. That's Ardle really makes that character. He's amazing. Brilliant.
Were there ever plans for Damo to come back for another episode, or was it
I don't
always
know.
one and done?
Obviously, when that episode went out, people were always saying, "Oh, he's definitely going to come back." Like Graham Norton's character came back, but I don't know. Don't know if there was plans. I'm actually in the airplane episode. I'm sitting in the airplane, but I don't say anything. The Father Damo he's sitting there, but maybe they just couldn't figure if they could develop the character, it would just be the same thing again, But I don't know. I heard that they had difficulty writing that episode that the old Grey Whistle left. That they weren't sure if it was going to work. But I think it's amazing. It's full of little moments like the picnic scene, and it's kind of almost little sketches. That episode has got little sketches like the picnic scene and the old lady coming up to Father Ted going, "It'll be like Boys in the Hood." So in that sense, it's an interesting episode that it's kind of almost like little sketches thrown together.
I think was it almost like they didn't want too much of a good thing? It almost didn't want to like spoil your character in a way because it was so successful. It's almost like maybe we should just leave it as it is because you don't want to give too much of it and then it not be the same as it was when you first came in. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they could have been there. I often wondered if I don't know why I was brought up the flight terror that I think Father Damo would have been great if he just went, "This is stupid," and just jumped out of the plane. And that'd be the end of Father Damo.
Yeah. What a way to go as well.
Yeah. I would have loved that. Just that one line, because he just wouldn't be able to just think it was stupid.
Then Arnold would obviously have sold that beautifully. So like, whoa. Maybe I should follow.
I was going to say, if he gets up to go do it himself.
Yeah, no. And Father Ted would be like, "No, Dougal, no."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, phenomenal. But obviously, you've incorporated into your stand-up because obviously recently you just toured with the Celebration tour as Father Damo. You actually played the Cheltenham Town Hall recently as well, which is where we literally used to live. So that was the kind of mental that you came over for a few shows in England and stuff. But sorry, Karen.
I'm doing quite a few in England. This Friday I'm in Bishop Auckland. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know where that is?
No one is.
Yeah, and look, anyway, I don't know. I'm down in Dunstable and I'm in Northampton and Peterborough and all. Yeah, I'm all over. I mean, then it's going to stop until the autumn again. But yeah, it's mostly in the UK actually. I've only recently done a few in Ireland. Yeah. And
okay.
I will do Northern Ireland a lot more. They love Father Ted in Northern Ireland. They go nuts for it as well, and Scotland as well. I think possibly I don't know whether it is that relevance of the conflict or whatever. They just like to laugh at religion or something. I don't know, but they really love it. Yeah. So
has it gone down quite well the tour so far?
Yeah, it's really good. It's developing as it goes. So I've brought in a costume change now, and I second half I'm in that blue sparkly jacket that they have for Song for Europe. I bring in a bit of a Euro thing. I have my own song as well, and then the lovely girls getting people up on stage a lot more. So for various reasons, obviously a lovely girl competition, a dance and priest competition, but I have people coming up playing kazoos, backing me on kazoos and stuff like that. So I've kind of like make it a bit more mad, like Ted Fest. But like Ted Fest is just insanity, where there's people. It's out on an island off the west coast of Ireland, and there's people walking around dressed as cigarettes or peanuts because of one scene in the Father Ted episode, and that madness. I'm trying to bring that onto the stage as well. So there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's interaction. I do my music, but there's a lot of interaction as well. You know, so that kind of stuff, and it really lends itself to it, Father Ted, to that craziness. There's like it's like it's got its own world. I think it should be a video game. You know, it's got its own universe.
Incredible game. Oh, yes, that needs to happen.
Yeah, because it's got its own mini universe, and even like there's so much detail. If you look at the set of Father Ted, there's a lot of detail in there. You know, everything has like even in the Eurovision, the Song for Europe episode, when it goes to the scoreboard, you should freeze frame that, because the names of the songs and the bands is brilliant. They didn't just throw up anything; they thought about everything. You know. So it could definitely be a video game. I don't know what the aim of it would be, but kicking Bishop Brennan up the arse or something, I don't know. But what you would have to do to get to do that, I don't know.
Have any of like the other former cast of Father Ted like seen the show or been involved in the show?
Well, originally I was touring a good bit with Patrick McDonnell, and we did, but we would just kind of do the Lovely Girls competition, but basically just do our stand up. No, so I've done it with him in Galway, where he came on as a guest, yeah, and then I showed a few clips of his episode, a few clips of it, not all of it. Yeah, he was really into it. And I'd really love if it can make it bigger. I'd love to bring other characters on and do little bits with them, like Patrick McDonnell, people who've done a bit of stand up, I guess. You know, yeah, people like that. Yeah.
Just think about it. We're discussing the tour and what you do, but where did the idea even come from to do this? Because it's a great idea.
Yeah, it started off. I was asked to do a Q&A type event in two of them. One was Wigan and Halifax in the different theatres there. They asked me would I come over and do this. They said, let's call it a celebration of Father Ted, but we're going to show an episode. We'd do a Q&A. And I was going, well, yeah, but I could do a bit of stand-up. I might as well do a bit of stand-up as I'm doing. So it started off like that. And then a promoter in the UK said, oh, that looks really good. I think we could sell that. But we eventually, after about 4 or 5 shows, we dropped the Q&A because it was just too serious and people were asking very serious questions. And well, they were kind of going, what was it? What was the atmosphere like in Ireland in the 90s? They were kind of getting into the whole religion thing and all that, and I just didn't want to go there.
Yeah, no.
And so I just dropped that and made it. I do a little bit of a quiz or whatever, and so replaced the Q&A with a kind of a quiz, and then added more visuals and just kind of made it into a multimedia stand-up musical interactive thing with lots of props. So everything is there, you know.
You've worked on like quite a lot of different projects in TV and stuff like that. Like, I think I saw somewhere that you played Hitler before. Was that right?
I did, yeah. I played Hitler in a short film called Adolf and Eva, wasn't it? Is it Eva? No, what's her name?
I think it's Eva Braun.
Eva Braun, it is, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know my Nazi history, apparently.
Yeah. No, that was quite funny. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it was on YouTube for a while. It might have been taken down. Probably YouTube took it down. Yeah. It was like Adolf and Eva bickering, basically, as a normal couple would once, the glamour of the whole Third Reich is gone. They're in the bunker. Things haven't gone well. And Eva is going, look, she kind of has a map and she shows how badly things are going. and Adolf is in denial and he's just drawing. He's gone back to his art. And that's no, it was actually really funny. It was actually quite a funny film. I hope I can get back up on YouTube sometime.
Would definitely love to see that. But you still just back on the Fathed thing very quickly. You have a podcast. You have Father Rooney, and you have Talking Ted as well, where you obviously have the previous. Is it the actors and actresses that were on the show back on to talk about their roles and stuff in Fathed? Is that correct?
Yeah, and Talking Ted, we would go through one episode at a time in each episode, and we did the first season, and have an actor who played a part in that particular episode just talk about what it was like to, how, basically what we're talking about now, what it was like on set, and what the audition and all that kind of stuff, and maybe, but. That went really well, but I've just been really busy, so I have to get the second season up. But I've gone to university and I'm doing gigs as well, so I'm trying to do assignments and gigs at the same time, and I just haven't time to ring up and book actors for the second season of Talking Ted. So,
what was you about to uni? Just if you don't mind talking about it, I'm curious.
It was actually lockdown that really influenced it, I think, because I was reading a lot. And then I thought, I'd like to study. But first of all, I was thinking of doing philosophy. And thank God I didn't do it. I'm doing multimedia, because multimedia doesn't have as many essays. There's a lot of the assignments are practical assignments. And, the essays are hard work. So I thank God I did that, not philosophy. I was going to do philosophy at Trinity College. I think it was based I just wanted to go to Trinity College, but I'm not going there, It would have looked good to be walking in and out of Trinity College. But I'm doing that. So when I'm touring, I quite often have to be during the day on the laptop finishing off some assignment on Adobe, on After Effects or Premiere Pro or something like that, or writing an essay. I mean, there was one time I was doing a gig in I can't remember what the theatre was, but Bristol, I think. I come on, I do a little bit, I introduced the episode, then I ran into the dressing room and finished off an assignment and sent it. just got it in on time, and then came back out on stage.
That is amazing.
That's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. What a story to tell.
It took me a few minutes to switch from assignment mode to stand-up mode, But
It's almost like you just went, guys, just watch it a second. I've got to be. I'm back in a minute. Just watch that. I'll be back in a sec. Shit. La, 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 I'll do. Anyway, episode's still going cool. I've got 10 minutes. Shit.
Got it in. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just got this image of you pressing send and be like, fuck off, and then running back on stage.
Yeah.
So horses.
But that was hectic. Yeah, I leave it very last minute on everything. But okay, I've got it in there. I'm still haven't failed anything. I'm fine. Okay,
smashing it.
So it was actually weird because some of the the first year of uni, we were all wearing face masks, so you didn't really see who anybody was. But then, after that, we some of the students would go, "Oh, my dad really likes you," or "My granddad thinks you're hilarious." Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
I love that. I started a job in the middle of the pandemic as well, and now I'll see people who are not wearing masks. I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Like, they'll talk to me. I'm like, I don't recognize your face. Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, it's a very different. People have. You look at their eyes. You just seen their eyes for a few months. You imagine a much more symmetrical bottom half of their face, and then when you see what it really is like, you're going, I wouldn't imagine that. It's like when someone shaves a beard off, I guess.
Yeah.
You've only known with a beard.
It's like, as I say that, Jamie coming over to talk to you, no idea who they are, they go, it's me, it's Michael. I go, fucking hell, is it? Are you sure?
Yeah, sorry, I just realised I said that to two people wearing beards. So,
No, to be fair though, you're right. If I shave this off, I look like a 12-year-old girl. It's fine. It's absolutely right. It's why it's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So one project we do need to talk about is Mr. Stevens over here was lucky enough to come and interview you in person for a vlog we released all about the private screening of Baz Black's movie Dublin Crust.
Yeah.
How was it making the movie with Mr. Irish Hollywood Baz Black?
Yeah, that was a really good part to get because it's been in a band again. Like I hadn't been in a band for years. Getting to, I played the bass in the band, so I did learn the bass lines. They didn't have me plugged in though, which was really annoying. So, but if you look at my fingers, I am playing the bass line. But it's just great. It's great being in a band. Like you can just look heroic with an instrument. It's as long as it's it's a bass or a guitar, not a synth. I don't think you can look heroic playing a synth. But brilliant. I like the character. I like the kind of just mean, just sulky type of a dude. And it's a good story. It's a good story. So, I think it's going to do well. It's going to come out in the cinemas this autumn, I believe.
What I did love about, obviously, without giving anything away, is your facial expressions when playing. So you talked about Arnold's facial expressions earlier on Fathed. Your facial expressions in Dublin because playing the bass are absolutely superb. You look like you're having the greatest time of your life.
Oh, really? Really? Yeah. I am indeed. I mean, it was great that I wasn't plugged in because then you can just concentrate on the poses. You know what I mean?
Performance. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that is a good thing about miming. I have heard. You read about bands when they went on Top of the Pops and they just had to mime. They just had the best time of their life. It's great, great. Like it's amazing. So facial expressions. Yeah, well, I am enjoying myself. I am absolutely. Being a punk at the age of 59 is bad.
Was the screening the first time you'd actually seen the completed movie?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I hadn't seen anything before that. So, it is weird. Like I have to say, like looking at myself, to be honest. So that's hard going.
I was going to say, how was it like watching your performance in real? Because some people, like you say, some actors are like, I will film it, I'll give it a thumbs up, and then I'm off. I do not want to watch it. No.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's like, you don't ever see your head from the side or the back normally, unless you have, eyes on stalks or some kind of a very long neck. So it's just weird. You go, do I look like that? Oh my God, look at my ears. So you're not really sitting there going, oh yeah, the plot's amazing. You're going, oh my God, look at the state of me. So it's sad. I don't particularly enjoy it. Yeah. But it was good. No, I mean, I knew it was a good film and it was really good and great reaction and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
two standing ovations. You can't go wrong with that. How did you get involved with the film? I know I asked you, but I've completely forgotten how you got involved.
Oh well, Baz just asked me. I know Baz is kind of lives near me, and I know him around. I mean, how would you not know Baz? Because he's covered in tattoos. Well, no, I had actually met him a few times around, and then he got in. I've heard that he was getting into acting, and I sent him a few messages. I think he put up a short film that he'd done, and I went like, "That's really good," and stuff, and hope things are going well for you or whatever. And then he just contacted me with the script. He just emailed it to me, and I really liked it, and then it was going ahead, and it was really good. That's all I can say.
I'm really jealous because Tom here got to go, he got to watch it, had a great time, and I'm just sat here like, I've seen a couple of clips and that's about it, and I really want to see this bloody movie now because it sounds incredible.
Oh yeah. But sure, you will see it soon, I'd say. Yeah. Cinemas or beyond. It'll be streamed somewhere, but yeah.
Joe, before we start wrapping up, I've had an absolute incredible. But what do you have coming up? What are you working on at the moment? You want people to go check out?
Well, I did my own short film called Dead Dog, which is about how the possible death of a dog turns a comedian's career around. And
that sounds fascinating.
Yeah. Well, it was just like inspired by the whole idea that at Edinburgh there were a lot of confession type shows about, God, I don't know, a parent dying or something. And sorry to laugh, but almost anything bad happened to you, another comedian would go, "That'd be a great Edinburgh show." Do you know what I mean? If you broke your leg, they go, "You should do an Edinburgh show about that." And so I had this idea that some guy, it's basically a comedian, his career is, I suppose, isn't going that well, and then he's told that his dog is dying, and he does a confessional, like kind of a thing on Facebook. We're going, "Oh, I'm really going to miss this dog." Blah blah blah. He gets loads of hits, but the vet has made an error. The dog is not dying, but he's already. His agent goes, "That you're getting loads of hits. We've got to book a tour on the back of this. So what do? Do you kill the dog?" And have it? And well, you'll only find out if you watch the film. Yeah, but
where is it? YouTube, you say?
Oh, sorry, it's not. It was on the RTE player. You can't get it in the UK at the moment. But when it gets off I'll put it on my website when the RTE player thing runs out.
Yes,
you know, that's like RTE is the national TV station here. Yeah. And then so I'm going to shoot another film this year, but sure, that's another question. And that's all I want. Is there anything else? No, that's it. I'm touring and I'm going to shoot another film.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guest?
I do, Joe, because I imagine your soup's getting very cold right about now. I have one left. When you first started out as young Master Rooney, when you were growing up and whatnot, did you ever think that your life would be here today doing what you've accomplished?
Gosh, no. I suppose when I think about it, it's pretty good. Yeah, I would be very happy, I'd say, with what I've accomplished. A young me would be going, "Wow, what, you traveled all over the world doing stand-up. That's amazing." Yeah, I think that would be really amazing to tell my 10-year-old self that was good. That is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Incredible. Or even 25-year-old self when you thought the world would only actually band split up.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The band split up and I was too old, and what was going to do with my life. Yeah. So,
pretty damn well, Joe, I have to say.
Cool. Thanks very much. That's good to hear from you.
You're welcome.
Joe, have you got any plugs, websites, social medias, anything you want people listening to this go and check out?
Yeah, well, on Instagram, I'm at Joe Rooney Comedian, and on Facebook, I have Joe Rooney Comedian in general. But I have a website called Joe Rooney Comedian, but it's just been revamped at the minute. Yeah, that's it. that's it. Social media wise, I do Twitter. I don't do Twitter anymore since Elon Musk took over. I went, feck Twitter. You know what I mean?
It's a minefield on there now. Like, I don't even think Elon knows what's going on.
No, he'll probably end up banning himself at this stage. But you can buy a blue tick, which is unbelievable.
Bullshit. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. He's trying to claw back his 44 billion, isn't he, wherever it is, because he wanted to pull out, didn't he? And he's like, shit. How can I call it? I know. I'll sell blue ticks for no reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck at that, Elon Musk. Yeah, things aren't going well for him, but he's got far too much money, so hopefully he can lose it a bit more. You know.
Yeah, hopefully.
I was gonna say I can't see him going broke anytime soon. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, it's probably down to his last 200 billion or something.
Yeah.
Watch his poor bastard. Joe, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this. It means the world.
Thanks a lot for having me on, and it's been great chatting to you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. Go and heat your soup up.
All right, thanks a lot.
Cheers, my friend. You take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.
Nice to chat to you. All right, good luck.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
Cheers. What an absolutely superb conversation. Joe is just amazing. Realised I hadn't seen it yet this week.
It's so great. It's just as mental as you want it to be. Yeah. If you want to talk about pink castles, you want to talk about comedy in Russia, and then obviously Father Ted. This is the interview for you. So,
and Adolf Hitler.
Oh yes, and Adolf Hitler as well. There's some absolutely wonderful stuff in there. So we hope that you, Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. I know, like Jamie said, you don't do this very often, so it means the world that you came on. And we really hope that you all enjoy listening to it, much as we did recording it.